Hello folks, Phil Gallagher of ThrabenU here for another modern video. Well, kind of. It's a Modern Banned Gauntlet video. So this will be last week for you all. Magic Online had this cool event where you got to play with decks that had various banned cards in them, and these are from throughout Modern's history. So there will be things ranging from Melirapod and Splinter Twin from the early days of Modern to things that have been banned a little bit more recently, such as Uro. And today we're going to choose one of these decks and give it a go for 3 rounds. In the comments of my last video, at the time that I checked, the 2 decks that people were requesting the most were the Birthing Pod deck list and Jund. And basically people were like, yeah, we just want to see more, pick one and play it, and we're good with it. So I have chosen to play Jund, and I want to explain why I made this choice. So when I played the Splinter Twin deck list last time around, it was kind of tuned for a meta that didn't really exist in this league, right? For example, there's no Graveyard Hate in the sideboard. And I think the Hogak deck is really good, and I think that means that my Tarmogoyfs are going to be massive, and that my Deathrite Shamans are very consistently going to have food. And the Modern Banned Gauntlet is pretty unfair, so having game 1 just like disruption is, I think, pretty valuable. A lot of the stuff in the Splinter Twin deck was soft permission because like Remand was legal, but Counterspell was not legal at the time that that deck came out, right? So if you're not familiar with like how the old version of Jund went, Deathrite Shaman was the fuel or maybe the glue that held this deck together. It was a mana dork, it was a way to stabilize your life total and make up for Bob's hurting you, and it also was just a win condition. Very much similar to Ragavan, it was ramp and a win condition all in one. And other than that, we just have generic good stuff cards. We have generic removal spells like Pulse, Decay, and Terminate that can mess with our opponent's stuff. We have Liliana the Veil as an edict or an additional discard outlet, and then we just have, generally speaking, a powerful set of cards here. As far as the sideboard goes, there's some cute stuff here. Slaughter Games, for example, can pull all the Splinter Twins out of our opponent's deck, or some other combo card that is not really easy for me to beat. Sword of Light and Shadow can be super, super grindy, and we have Grafdigger's Cage as well as Jund Charm as some amount of Graveyard Hate. I'm excited to give this one a go. Just kind of question for you. What did you all think of the Modern Banned Gauntlet event? I'll kind of give you my thoughts in the outro, the conclusion of this video after I play another league. But I have opinions based on my first match. Anyway, if you're new here, please consider subscribing for sweet magic action 4 days a week. And if you're a regular, throw me a like before we get started. It's one of the easiest ways to support my content for free. Let's battle. By the way, this video is sponsored by Top Deck, an all-in-one Magic companion app / website, and we'll take a look at them after round 1. All right, my hand has a good mix of lands and spells. I would really like my opponent to play a fetch land on turn 1. Okay. A Darkar Wastes, I think that means eggs, or Sunny Side Up if you want to call it that. Also not a fetch land, but now I have 2 different black producing lands, which is good. I guess I can like use the deck list to confirm that this is what my opponent is playing, right? Like that's a thing that I'm allowed to do. I guess use the information that's available to you. Ooh, a Darkar Wastes is only in Eldrazi aggro. Okay, now I know. So let's go Black Cleave Cliffs. Let's just Inquisition. My opponent mulliganed. Ooh, yeah, okay. That feels good. Opponent's opening hand is super soft. So they only have Drowner of Hope. So like they are on nothing. Ooh, a Bob. This Inquisition is kind of a dead card. I want to play Liliana next turn. I think I want to play Deathrite Shaman this turn. Like, now I know that my opponent's path is gone. Yeah. Drowner of Hope is a good amount of value. And, like, my opponent's Eldrazi Temples means that they can move towards it relatively quickly, but hopefully I can just do better than that. So this is something that's going to come down next turn. Ooh, they drew a Reality Smasher. Yep, that's going to sting. I'll take that damage. Alright. This means that I can just play that Liliana off of that land without taking damage. That's pretty dope. So here's my edict. You sacrifice a creature. Unfortunately, no fetch lands on either side means this Deathrite Shaman is not making mana yet. Although I will probably end up just plussing my Liliana next turn and just discarding a land, and my opponent will also discard a land. So, like, that's a thing that's going to happen. Okay, so my opponent drew that land. They didn't have that when I initially looked at their hand. All right, take your bodies. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'll pulse that. I'm gonna discard Blood Crypt this turn. Let's plus and do that. My opponent will probably discard Hollowed Fountain. Okay, they discarded the caves. That's fine. Let's pulse and kill the 5/5 here. Now my Inquisition probably doesn't do any. Oh, maybe I should have just discarded Inquisition over the land, actually. I don't really want to play Bob this turn. It requires me to tap Deathrite Shaman. Just play this land tapped. Call it a turn. I can get rid of the draw step stop. That was specifically for one of the decks that I was playing. I assume that's just deck thinning. Yep. Yeah, okay. That's it then. Ooh, another Raging Ravine. Don't mind if I do. Well, let's plus. I'll take a land out of my opponent's hand and I'll discard this Inquisition. Okay, there's the Hollowed Fountain, so I now don't know anything that's going on with my opponent's hand. I'll play a land. I'm comfortable playing a Bob, and I can start chipping away at graveyards with Deathrite Shaman. I think I care more about my own life total than I do killing my opponent right now. I can pivot pretty quickly with a Raging Ravine, though. Ooh, we got something. Ooh. Another Drowner of Hope, then? It is. Yeah, let's, well, I guess I don't want to do this until after combat, actually. Alright, so you get your critters. I'm looking for, like, Terminates, Maelstrom Pulses, things of that general nature. Grab my life. Yeah, I don't think I get to start trying to finish my opponent yet. I don't think we're that far along. Oh, okay, Lightning Bolt and Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize, probably not good. I'll just discard that. I can work towards killing this with a Lightning Bolt. I can just, like, Lightning Bolt it and block it with Bob or something. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go plus. Discard my Thoughtseize. You have a Plains, that's fine. And no attacks on my end. I'm just trying to avoid my opponent top decking like a Reality Smasher. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. I have so much to live for. Okay. This makes a 1/1. That's fine. It flies, which is slightly annoying. It being this, not the Scion. Because I'm largely trying to, like, 1-for-1 my opponent and then pull ahead with things like Deathrite and Lily and Bob. And my opponent is doing a pretty good job of keeping up with me value-wise. All right, what, if any, attacks are you making? Oh, multiple things going in. All right, Drowner of Hope is going after Lily. The rest of those are going after me. That's fine. All right, so I'm going to click on this one on the left. I'm going to tap the one on the right to animate it. Now I've got a 3/3. Oh, shoot, I missed this ability. Where's this coming from? Drowner of Hope. Sacrifice an Eldrazi to tap target creature. This is awkward. Guess that occurs. Means that if I want to get rid of this, I really have to use Bob. I do a block here. You'd like to tap target creature. I will exile one of your lands and make a red mana. I have to use this red mana now. I was planning on doing this in a different phase to, like, guarantee the damage, but I don't think my opponent can really do anything about it. I'm sad that I have to lose my Bob here. Bob's quite good. Have I become the beatdown? Like, do I just edict my opponent, get rid of one of these 1/1s, activate Raging Ravine, crash in? Probably. A little awkward. But I think it's just the best use of my mana here. Alright. I click the one on the left. Alright. And I'll hold my Deathrite Shaman back to block a Scion. Then I'll Abrupt Decay this next turn. This is also a mind game, because like I absolutely can be just representing another Lightning Bolt here. How are you attacking? Alright, they're just going for my Liliana. That's fine. I am fine with Liliana going to the graveyard at this point. Like, I am planning on winning via Raging Ravine. Yeah, I guess I just continue this route. I am the beatdown. And this is increasing damage. And then next turn, I can do this and Abrupt Decay this creature. That's right, I don't trample. It's been a while since I've played a Raging Ravine myself. Alright, how big is the top deck? Okay, I mean, Thought-Knot Seer is a little annoying. That eats my Abrupt Decay. I still do have the larger creature at the end of the day, and I also can just, like, eat stuff from the graveyard as well. So I'm going to take 2 in the air here. And then I'm going to be attacking with a 6/6. So that's just better than what my opponent has going on. Yeah, I'm good with that. Oh, actually, I need to calculate real quick whether or not I'm supposed to drain or what. No, I'm probably supposed to gain life. I don't think I'm ending this game immediately because my opponent has a couple of jump blockers. So let's do this way. And now I'll crash in for 6. I love scaling threats. I assume my opponent will take the chump here and then try to put me on a 2-turn clock, but I get out of that 2-turn clock with Deathrite Shaman. Let's go Tomb, no, and pass the turn. I can pump the brakes if I need to, but I think I'm currently favored. Yeah, I'll take the 6 here. That's fine. I go to 5, but then I like grow back to 7 immediately. Exile the Drowner, gain my life. All right, another Raging Ravine. I'm gonna activate this one. Attack for 7. Oh shit, my opponent drew Path to Exile. That's a little scary. I mean, nothing I can do about that. Yes, I will use that ability. I'll pick up a land. I'll play another land. I am a little bit out of range of just draining my opponent now. Ooh, Eye of Ugin is spooky. So 3, 4, 5, 6 lands to fuel it. So these Eldrazi temples only can be used to activate abilities of colorless Eldrazi. This isn't technically an Eldrazi, even though it's like a pseudo-tribal land. But I am 1 Eldrazi spawn away from being in a world of hurt. Let's do a quick check. So I would need 10 mana. Well, effectively 10 mana in order to attack with all this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I attacked with both of these, this would be 8. And that could be 10 with draining right now. So I should focus on my survival rather than trying to immediately kill my opponent. Wait, I think I clicked on the wrong one. Get that Reality Smasher out of there. This is a good game of Magic. I am enjoying this. I've gotten the 1-minute work message from my opponent. Shout out to my opponent on the grind while at work. I can't live that life as a teacher, but good for you, I guess. Okay, opponent's back. Cards out of exile. I'll take some damage. I go to 3. That's not what I needed. Shit. Do I have a fetchable? This is a 2 forest Jund deck list, right? 1 forest, 2 swamps. There's 2 swamps that it has, so I can't actually play this untapped. So I can pay 4 mana to activate a Raging Ravine. Okay, do I need to try to kill my opponent instead? Activate Raging Ravine, attack for 4, put my opponent to 8. Plan on chump blocking with Deathrite Shaman. Drain my opponent to 6. Draw Lightning Bolt. Alright. There's also double attack lines that I could play towards. Alright, so let's get in there with a Raging Ravine. I can technically attack with 2 Raging Ravines, but that's not going to leave me in a healthy spot because I have to take damage if I want to activate this, and I need to chump block with Deathrite Shaman. All right, let's crash in for the 4 damage. I have to end this game, like, now. Otherwise, I am afraid. And I can't just hang back with the Raging Ravine. I don't have too many untapped lands that I can just spike to attack with Raging Ravine twice. Alright. This is a very pivotal decision here. Like, do I drain? This is 5 damage. So Lightning Bolt is already lethal. Assuming this works. I guess I will not drain. I will eat my last remaining creature to survive. Alright. We go to 5. I take 2 damage. I'm down to 3. Alright. Top deck for a land here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A top deck land would do it. Lightning Bolt will do it. If I don't fetch, Terminate or Maelstrom Pulse is very good. How many untapped lands do I have that don't cost me life? Swamp. Marsh Flats is acceptable. Verdant Catacombs is acceptable. Okay, quite a few outs. I'm going to go ahead and fetch a tapped land out of my deck here. But now taking this line means that I can't just try to trade this Raging Ravine with Thought-Knot Seer. Alright, I will not pay the 2 life. Ooh. Land. I'm gonna win this game at 1 life. Alright. So I will activate. Wow. Okay. So we're playing against the Eldrazi here. I like the Sword of Light and Shadow as a way to like grind and return some of my creatures that have chump blocked early on. I like the Terminate. I don't mind Obstinate Baloth. Like, it's a 4/4 that goes and trades with Thought-Knot Seer. I don't mind Thrun and Olivia Voldaren as just like large creatures. Jund Charm isn't crazy to just grow something past a Reality Smasher or something, but I'm not sure how much I want it. I don't really like Inquisition. As we saw, that's going to run out of targets. Similarly, I don't know that I want to try to stop some of that stuff, especially on the draw, by taking it out of my opponent's hand, so much as I just want to have big things of my own to be playing. It's possible I'm wrong on Thoughtseize, though. Alright, looks like I have a pretty reasonable opening hand here. I will definitely keep this hand. I have a great mix of lands and spells, and I actually have a fetch land this time to enable the Deathrite Shaman. Alright, this is a scary start because Eye of Ugin can mean a lot of powerful things come down quite quickly. I think I want to Lightning Bolt this immediately. So I might take 4 damage off it next turn if my opponent just goes Soul Land into Thought-Knot Seer. My opponent Thought-Knot Seers me, I lose probably Olivia or Deathrite Shaman, and it sucks, but I'll save 4 life. But if I do just play Deathrite Shaman, I can double spell next turn most of the time unless Lightning Bolt is taken. Let's do that. I think I can grab the basic here. I think my mana is good enough right now that that's fine. In many ways, the Deathrite Shaman is the most important card in my hand, as like last game very clearly showed. Yeah, all right, so I can get Thought-Knot Seared here. And it is a scary start. Like, this is absolutely a legacy start if that happens. Yup. So this becomes a 4/4, and then I lose a card. Opponent definitely has options. Like, Lightning Bolt is my most efficient card. Olivia is absolutely a pain in the ass. If this game goes very, very long, though. Okay, I have lost my ability to grind. My opponent took Bob. They Livy. That's fine. Welcome back, Bobbert. You're an important and vital part of the team. So I'm going to go ahead and play Cliffs here. And I think I do want to play the Bob. Like, obviously my opponent is afraid of it, and this is a way to, like, draw towards the Terminates and such. Alright. My opponent's white mana has been opened up now. Ooh. Alright. This is a great start from my opponent. I'll take red. I absolutely have to Lightning Bolt this Mimic. And let's draw a Maelstrom Pulse, baby. Wouldn't that be a swell? Bye, Olivia. Cries in CMC4. Ooh, the Sky Spawn. Yeah, so Eye of Ugin reducing the costs means that sometimes you can play multiple things in a single turn, which is super powerful. I am pretty likely to get run over. Again, though, Pulse is real good right now. No whammy. Lightning Bolt. Sure. How am I doing this turn? I can just fetch a tapped land. Or I can use... I would like to trade 2 Bobs with a Thought-Knot Seer. Or maybe a Bob and a Bolt with a Thought-Knot Seer, and then Abrupt Decay this. Yeah, I've got a little flexibility here. Let's play the second Bob. Call it a turn. Ooh, we got something coming. Oh, so this is the one that taps my creatures, right? That's not good. All right. So life's bad for me. I'm at 9, folks. My opponent can tap down both my Bobs, and then I lose a lot of options. Yep. Yep. So I was also planning on like killing some of my own Bobs in combat. I think I'm effectively dead now. Yeah, I think with double Bob still on board here, I just kill myself like 100% of the time. I'm going to move on to the next game. All right, when I am on the play, Thoughtseize is a little better. It helps stop some of those big haymakers from getting into play and gives me a better early game. Olivia just too slow? I don't know. Olivia's really good if she gets going. I think I'm going to call this good. I'm not 100% confident. I need more mana here, but I think I'm going to go ahead and keep this. So let's go land, pass. We got a Tarmogoyf, which will probably be a reasonable size. And I've got like Ooze and Baloth. Yep, that's fine. So let's fetch a... It has to be a green land. Let's grab green, black. Let's grab Overgrown Tomb. Another Tarmogoyf. I think since I have so many creatures, I don't care if one of them eats a Thoughtseize. I don't think I want to take 4 from an Eldrazi Mimic right now. I think I'd rather Abrupt Decay that if my opponent plays a Thought-Knot Seer, which they do. So let's get this out of the way and then see what my opponent wants to take. Would like to put like a sorcery. Well, actually, my opponent probably takes a creature, right? Or no, the creature doesn't go to my graveyard. The creature goes to exile. The opponent's been bantering with me a little bit. You can see some of that. What do you think was the best modern deck ever? They were saying that one of their previous opponents had called Eldrazi just like one of the best ever, just period, full stop. I think Tarmogoyf is better than Scavenging Ooze right now. Let's not pay for that. Let's play the 3/4 Tarmogoyf and hope that I can beef it up a little bit. Opponent was curious about why I had ported in Obstinate Baloth. It's a 4/4 that trades with Thought-Knot Seer and also just gains 4 life. I'm not expecting like the discard portion to be relevant here. Ooh, yes, absolutely. I would love a basic forest. So I take 4 here, but then I get to play like Tarmogoyf Scavenging Ooze or like Baloth. This is gonna be great later. I could just play the Baloth that trades with the Thought-Knot Seer innately right now. I think I'm good with that. Just buy time. If my opponent like does not attack with Thought-Knot Seer, that's probably a win for me. If I get passed again, it just puts me closer to doing something gross. This is 6 mana though. This could... Okay, it's just a Sky Spawner. Why the shock though? Do you also have Reality Smasher? Does that get spooky? Ooh, it's another path. Yes. I'll pick up a swamp. Oh, I see. So my opponent needed to fetch to have white. Awkwardly, there is 1 creature in graveyard currently. Olivia? Play Olivia, ping Sky Spawner next turn, and then play either Ooze or Tarmogoyf. Sure. Another path or tap effect is real bad for me, though. So Olivia is a 3/3 flyer, and this does fly, so I do stop my opponent's evasion on that route. I really expected my Tarmogoyf would grow faster, though, if I'm being honest. I guess I boarded out my Thought Seizes, so like I do lose some number of the sorceries. Okay, another one. That's not the end of the world. Like that's totally fine. So as long as I dodge something like a Reality Smasher, I think I'm okay. I think this gets to attack, and that's probably it. Yeah, that's fine. All right. The other thing I can do is just try to dominate this game with Olivia. Just like ping this. Then I have a 5/5 that beats Thought-Knot Seer in combat. Also, I might have used more clock this league than my opponent used like, whoa. Did not realize that was a thing. That's spooky. Yeah, so my opponent could have done that pre-combat and gotten in 3 more points of damage. I need more creatures to die. I'm going to go ahead and fetch. Grab a swamp. Play Olivia. And I think I passed the turn there. Again, really looking to dodge Reality Smasher in particular. Also getting to the point where Eye of Ugin is starting to be scary. I also need to dodge Drowner of Hope. Also, I straight up would consider trading Olivia for Thought-Knot Seer, depending on how my opponent attacks. Because if I can kill a Sky Spawner and a Thought-Knot Seer, and then like play Scavenging Ooze, grow it twice immediately, that's pretty valuable. All right, so how will you attack? Is everything turning sideways? Yes. So I can take 4 by trading with Thought-Knot Seer and junking the Sky Spawn. That puts 3 creatures into graveyard. I draw a card. It'll leave a flyer. Or I could take 6 damage. It might be better to just take 6 instead. Yeah, I'm gonna try to leave this Olivia around. So now I'll ping this, and I end up with 2 creatures in the graveyard. What a grind this game. Absolutely feels like high-powered limited right now, like out of a cube deck or something. Like a vintage cube. Alright. I took 6, go to 4. Alright. Armaglyph's still not massive. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, got Eye of Ugin to worry about now. If my opponent activates that. I'm gonna see if they miss that, though. Absolutely not attacking with Olivia. Oh shit, they missed it. Nice. So, while they're not thinking of that, I'm gonna go ahead and ping one of those. Oh, they might have figured it out. Shit, they figured it out. Yeah, so that fizzles that, and I don't get the +1/+1 counter on that. All right, maybe I was greedy. Maybe I like read too much into my opponent, not realizing that they could sacrifice that. Okay, they've got another land. They got 7 to activate Eye of Ugin. Okay, no attacks. So am I just taking their Thought-Knot Seer? Just ping it, gain control of it. This is a 5. That's 7 total mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna pad my life total here. Makes my Tarmogoyf worse. But I do have to, like, be cognizant of Reality Smasher. Like, that's a very real card. Lightning Bolt. Ping Thought-Knot Seer. I'm going to Lightning Bolt Thought-Knot Seer. Alright. I draw a card. Sword of Light and Shadow? That's pretty dope. That's my surprise next turn. So I can eat 1 creature, or I can eat 2 creatures, actually. So I eat 1 for sure, and I guess I'll eat the second one. This is 11. If my opponent grabs Reality Smasher, I only take 5. What other big stupid Eldrazi does my opponent have? Clock is also low. Yeah, this... I think I get to turn these sideways. That may be greedy. Okay, my opponent's going to 4. Oh my god, they didn't activate it. They didn't activate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think... Okay, so they remembered Eldrazi Scion, but they forgot about Eye of Ugin to just search up, like, Reality Smashers and stuff. Oh my gosh, what a match. GG's. Hell of a grind. That was a 50-minute match on my end. Hello folks, this video was brought to you by Top Decked. I'm going to take a look at one of their features real quick that's kind of new. So if you have a deck list on here, you can click on the Tools button, and then you can click on the Deck History button. So if you're someone who's constantly fidgeting with the same 75 and you want to track changes, you can go back and you can look at the changes that you have made over time, and you can even revert back to previous versions, like you can see here. So consider checking out Top Deck if you really enjoy futzing with your deck list and you want to keep track of how it's changing over time. All right, so round 2 opening hand. How much do I believe in Deathrite Shaman? Is it this much? 2 of these are man lands, so this has more of a density than it looks like at first glance. I think this is okay, but I would really prefer to have 3 spells. But, like, if I mulligan, I may end up in sort of a similar situation anyway. All right, I just forest. With Deathrite Shaman, I can probably just forest. It gets a little weird if the Deathrite Shaman itself does get answered, though. All right, Steam Vents. So, guessing we are playing against the twin deck then. Oh, we're playing against Delver. Cool. Do I want to Lily that? I'm fine with Lilying that. So let's go ahead and fetch. Swamp. My Deathrite Shaman lived. And I don't really think you let the Deathrite Shaman live if you have the Lightning Bolt. You just take that out. Card is banned in multiple formats for a reason. Like, you're basically only allowed to Deathrite in, what, like, Vintage now? Okay, a young Pyromancer. Absolutely will happily Maelstrom Pulse that. What am I playing this turn? I'd like to play Raging Ravine tapped. Pulse Pyromancer plus Lily. Then I don't get an untapped Blackcleave Cliffs. Maybe that's fine. Let's plus Lily first here. And since this isn't going to enter untapped, I might just junk this now. Okay. See what my opponent discards here. Also, it's super cool to not have to play around days with removal spells. Just saying. Good stuff. I could actually play Treetop Village tapped this turn instead, because I can attack with that next turn. Yeah, let's do that and plan on probably just discarding the Verdant Catacombs. It's weird, though. This doesn't give me untapped red next turn if I draw a Lightning Bolt without using Deathrite Shaman. I don't know. Maybe I'm playing too conservative with my mana base this game. Sure, that's fine. Yeah, so for those of you used to like legacy play patterns with cantrips, since Serum Vision has you draw the card and then scry 2, if you have a fetch, you usually end up wanting to use it prior to playing a Serum Visions. There's now a pause from my opponent, which might mean they have a Lightning Bolt and they're thinking about whether... Oh, okay, they're probing. I thought they were going to be thinking about whether, like, a Lightning Bolt was going to go at Lily or Deathrite Shaman. I might want to start picking at my opponent's graveyard as well, because there's things like Treasure Cruise to consider. Draw 3s are good, yo. Ooh, Forked Bolt is what my opponent had. Okay, it's just a Serum Visions. That's not bad. I really want to be scaling up this Raging Ravine, because, like, it becoming 4 toughness, like, absolutely matters. Ooh. Tricky. Like, I have Graveyard to worry about for a Treasure Cruise. But, like, the Lily looks kind of bad in the face of that. I also want to, like, play this Raging Ravine. And fetch red-black with Verdant Catacombs. And work on just, like, draining my opponent to death here. Alright, let's get in there with this. I'll take my Lightning Bolt worth of damage. I'm just a little worried about playing this Liliana preemptively. I'll Blood Crypt. And I am just going to decrease the size of my opponent's graveyard here. Make them pay more for a Treasure Cruise if they have it. Treasure Cruise is a card that absolutely makes me nervous. Don't do it. They're doing it. So it did cost them 2 mana to do that. Say Livy. Lightning Bolt gets a little awkward. 2 mana. Yeah, Swift Spear is fine. Goblin Guide is fine. Does my opponent leave some of that back? No. Oh, sweet. I got a land out of this. Ooh, baby. That's a haymaker. So I can do 3 mana treetop attack, play Lily Edict, or I could just like continue to go for my opponent's life total super aggressively. I also could like play Olivia and drain my opponent. I have so many lines. All right, I'm gonna go Verdant and fetch. Grab a swamp. Need to tap this for the black. So there's black, red. Let's go 1, 2. And I think I'm just going to end up eating my opponent's treasure cruise. Okay. It's a lot of potential damage here. All right, so Forked Bolt is putting 1 damage at Olivia and 1 damage to me. That's fine. They're just trying to keep my Olivia from blocking. Okay. All right, what are we working with? All right, I do pick up another land. But I just block a Goblin Guide and then ping a creature. If I go drain, drain, I probably just need to block. Yeah. I'm going to block a Goblin Guide specifically. Now, let's pick up a red and ping a creature to put a +1/+1 counter on Olivia so that she lives through the Goblin Guide damage. All right, so I go to 6. And I have very, very much lethal. So this is 4, 7, 8, 9. Yep, and opponent realizes that and concedes. Good stuff. All right, I am actually going to look at my opponent's deck list here. I know their main deck pretty well, but I don't know like what the sideboard is going to look like. I don't know like at what time period this was pulled from. Let me just throw this over here so you all can see it. We got Pillar of Flames and Fork Bolt, in addition to Lightning Bolts in the main deck. Got Blood Moon to be cognizant of. Got, I guess technically Threads is something that matters. That's something that can steal a Tarmogoyf. Sidewinder Mage, huh? Yeah. Okay. More or less got it. I want big dumb creatures that can stand in the way of my opponent's stuff and removal spells. I might end up playing this sword too. The graveyard hate that I have isn't super good against Delve. I don't have something like a Rest in Peace. I do not think I want to play Thought Seizes against my opponent's deck. I could just cut my Inquisitions too. I'll become a little slow. I'll have 4 turn 1 plays, infinite turn 2 plays. Maybe this is fine. I can Jund Charm. I can straight up Jund Charm as a sweeper for small creatures. That might be good enough. What would come out next? Do I cut some number of Bobs? Like Bob plays poorly against Jund Charm. Jund Charm's a little awkward, like 2 damage to each creature is going to kill my Deathrites, but if I'm willing to cast this, then I'm probably getting pretty disgustingly far ahead by doing so. It's possible I should play some number of Inquisitions when I am on the play. I think I like what's going on here. Also, holy shit, Murktide Regent would be, like, busted in a shell with Gataxian Probe. Just throwing that out there. Okay, how is this hand? It has a turn 3 removal spell. It has a turn 2 Bob, which probably just eats a piece of removal. Or trades with a creature. I think this is good enough. Oh shit, you're right, I'm on the draw. Maybe this is not good enough on the draw. Alright, opponent gets to play with perfect information. Yeah, I'm not sure I like this hand on the draw. I think a turn 2 removal spell is pretty important. I don't know, maybe I can count Bob as a turn 2 removal spell. I would straight up trade it with a creature. Yep, that's fine. I don't know, like I have a lot of removal that I can just top deck. Tapped Blood Crypt here, rather than Marsh Flats, now that I've drawn a green source. I think I'm good with that. It lets my opponent know that they're like in the clear to get in there with creatures, but I think that's okay. Let's see if Delver just naturally flips. It's a little scary if it does, because then I can't just immediately trade it with Bob like I want to. They have revealed their Scalding Tarn. Alright, and play it, sure. Fetch away. Back away. And are we going to see something like a Young Pyromancer now? Young Pyromancer will be... okay. Nope. Again, there's the play pattern of fetch prior to playing a Serum Visions. The Delver almost certainly flips next turn if opponent gets Serum Visions to set it up. Yeah, and they put top, so they are going to flip that Delver. All right. So now I have something to trade Bob for. That's the good news. And I've picked up another land. That's fine. I'm at 17. I don't want this many lands. Am I just playing the Black Cleave Cliffs this turn while it's still untapped? Probably. Let's do that and jam the Bob. The Bob probably dies to like a Forked Bolt or equivalent. Like my opponent has Lightning Bolts, Fork Bolts, and not Pyrostatic Pillar, Pillar of Flame. All right, flipping to a Serum Visions there. Just straight up the Mothman. All right. Every time my opponent pauses while playing a Treasure Cruise deck, I'm like, are they counting their graveyard? Is it graveyard counting time already? Treasure Cruise probably happens next turn, honestly. If they have one. They might not have one. That's one top, one bottom this time, so they only found one thing they like. Okay, there's another probe. Opponent's at 12, so if I get the chance to turn the corner and become the beatdown, I'll pivot quickly. So they used the probe to fish the card that they wanted from the top of their library. All right, Goblin Guide swings in, revealing an Abrupt Decay. That's fantastic. So I'm going to take my 1-for-1 here, take 3 damage. I'll have either Abrupt Decay or Liliana to answer my opponent's Delver, depending on what the rest of their turn looks like. Okay, my opponent is holding up 2 mana. My opponent has 4 cards in hand. There's a couple of soft counterspells in the 75. So there's 1 negate and, well, I guess Disdainful Stroke only gets big stuff. So there is also Mana Leak and some like Spell Snares. So I probably just want to Abrupt Decay this thing this turn. Just going to play my basic Forest to do that. Okay, so we're getting some movement from my opponent here. Okay, so they fetch something. Interesting. Sure, player land. What are we fetching for? Second red? Does this deck not have a mountain? Alright, so the Delver comes in. I'll decay it. This is uncounterable. I also revealed this off the Goblin Guide, so my opponent knew this was coming. Okay, it seems like it is oh, nope. Ah! That's what this was for. Okay. Yeah, there's one of those. This is inconvenient for me. Not game ending. I have 2 of my 3 colors, but inconvenient. Can I look at my deck list right now? I do this and change deck. Primary deck? Nope. Okay, we'll look at this on the Wizard website then. How many basics do I have? 1 forest, 2 swamps. Okay. I also just have straight up Deathrite Shaman that I can play and then gain access to my second color, but it's pretty likely to just get bolted. Sure. 1 of Blood Moon absolutely getting me here. All right, I'll go to 12. A lot of pressure here. Well, hot damn. My opponent has 1 card. They absolutely need to have an answer to this Olivia, or it will take over the game. It just like machine guns down my opponent's stuff, and they need to have the answer this turn, or it becomes a 4/4 and is not immediately answerable by a lightning bolt. Cannot overstate how important it is that my opponent takes this Olivia off the board right the fuck now. So I know. Yeah, so this taps this until Tidebinder Mage is gone. That's fine. Yeah. It's a little annoying, but I get to do so much damage with this Olivia, and it still has like so much text even untapped, or even when tapped. So right now, 100% need to kill this Delver. I just unquestionably. Then I think I want to kill the young Pyromancer and this token right now. Like, I'm good with taking 2, and then I'll pay 2 mana to kill Tidebinder Mage next turn, and then I'll untap, and I will just have lethal with Olivia. I will lose to double Lightning Bolt, doing 6 to my face, but I think that's worth it. Okay, the Delver is a little scary, because that means a single burn spell. Well, no, I'm going to just ping that thing. That's fine. Alright. So, play a land. 1 mana to poke that. God, Olivia is so good. Alright. I have absolute ridiculous fucking House of a Vampire ready to rumble. So you send in your Tidebinder Mage, and I'll attempt to kill it. There's one, and there's the second one. Anyone who questioned the power of this vampire, look at me now. Look at me now. And this is 9 damage now. This thing is huge. What you got? Young Pyromancer. How's that gonna do against this flyer? Riddle me that. I'm gonna go ahead and send this in. It's got to be Vapor Snag, I suppose. Oh, it is Vapor Snag. 1, 2, 3, 4 with 2 pings afterwards. That's fine. All right. That goes back to my hand. I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Play this. Shoot the Young Pyro. Shoot the Elemental token. This is up to a 5/5 and out of the range of their burn spells. What a dominating performance from Olivia Voldaren. Oh, nice. This is another target creature, right? Another target creature. That's fine. So I'll just swing in for 5 here. And should have lethal next turn. Opponent can't really play a blocker that lives through this, I don't think. Opponent can double burn spell me here and steal the win. That's a lightning bolt. Did you draw a Pillar of Flame as well? Fuck, that's so disappointing. That's absolutely so disappointing. Yeah. That's super frustrating. I think I navigated that game so well. Like, about the only thing I could have done differently is play around the one of Blood Moon a little better. I'm pretty happy with the cards that are in the deck, though. I could play some Inquisitions on the play. I don't know that I want them. Inquisition could be better than Bob, I guess. I don't know. Bob is Bob. Bob trades with an early creature. Bob draws me into the cards like Olivia that just absolutely take over the game if I get to them. I mean, Olivia put on a great show last time around. I think I'm just going to go ahead and keep this hand. I can get a swamp early here. Probably off Marsh Flats, actually. Yeah, I can get a swamp early, play a Tarmogoyf. The first Tarmogoyf, unfortunately, will be in the range of Lightning Bolt in a whole lot of scenarios here. But I think that's okay. Yep, fetch away. Shock away. And then we'll kind of see what my opponent chooses to do with their turn. That's a Goblin Guide. How do I want to respond to this Goblin Guide trigger? Let's treat it as a scry. So let's let it attack in. Looking at a Liliana of the Veil on top, I will be happy to draw that. I'll just take the 2 here. So I will go land. I'll go ahead and grab a basic swamp here. I will play a 1/2 Tarmogoyf. Like, this is not impressive, but either my opponent uses a Lightning Bolt on this, and that saves me 3 life, or my opponent grows this Tarmogoyf, and, like, that benefits me as well. I think I'm good with either situation. Like, a 2-mana card that gains 3 life and makes my opponent discard a card, not the worst here when I have just 3 absolute bangers in my hand. Ooh, okay, so this is going to grow Tarmogoyf up to 3 toughness, so it already beats Goblin Guide in combat now. Okay, yeah, so opponent could have Goblin Guide attacked prior to doing this, so they kind of messed up their sequencing there. Ooh, another Tarmogoyf. Delicious. Alright, let's grab another basic and just fully play around Blood Moon. And then I'll go ahead and cast a Lily. Go ahead and minus Make You Sacrifice. This grows my Tarmogoyf further. Alright, they're getting rid of the Goblin Guide. This Delver is very likely to flip, right? Incredibly likely to flip. In that case, let's take my Tarmogoyf damage right now. I'll just let Lily die. Like, Lily killed a creature and gained me 3 life. I'm good with that. See what Delver flips to. Flips to Gataxian Probe. Absolutely good with Gataxian Probe right now. Like, if my opponent pays life for that, that's a pretty good situation for me. Yep. Olivia's starting to look good. Yep, they are gonna finish off my Planeswalker, understandably. Alright. Ooh, I drew a Terminate. Is it better to play Olivia now? I only get a single ping with Olivia a turn. I play Olivia now, and then ping. Or I can just, like, get rid of something. Olivia's really, really good. I think I kind of want to keep my pressure up. I think I'm going to go ahead and swing with my 4/5 Tarmogoyf here. Ooh, wait, Instant is not in the graveyard yet. Lol, JK. Let's go Stomping Ground here and Shock. Let's terminate. I don't know, am I supposed to just terminate the Young Pyromancer? Because it provides chump blockers? Maybe I am. Go ahead and do that. It's one of the things that just would get pinged by Olivia, but I'm trying to put my opponent on the defensive and just, like, double play Tarmogoyf here. And I have, like, something that can just, like, trade and block with a Delver. And a lot of power that's not going to be easily removed. The Reds of Disloyalty is probably the biggest, like, one of that could beat me right now. Alright, they have revealed a Goblin Guide. My opponent has to start worrying about Lightning Bolt killing them. Ooh, wow. Well, I guess it's, like, saves them 5 damage by doing that, so I guess that's fine. This is going to be tight, especially if my opponent finds a Treasure Cruise. Treasure Cruise next turn would be very good. Ooh, that's horrifying. I'll take 4 this turn, go to 8. Sure. Alright. Definitely spooky. Alright, good cards here. If I play Olivia, my opponent probably just, like, forces an attack in. I probably need to just, like, guaranteed answer a Delver. Alright, so I'm gonna use this as a removal spell on one of my opponent's tokens. I assume they just, like, can't go to 1 here. Yeah, that's fine. I will play a new Tarmogoyf. And then I will have Abrupt Decay for one of the Delvers. Ooh, they found a Fork Bolt. I might be dead. Fork Bolt is not good for me. So I'm going to take 3 in the air. No. Well, 4. Yeah, okay. I'm not dead, but I'm close. So the hope is that I junk this Delver. And then I trade this one for Olivia. Alright. We'll see how much of this attacks in. Absolutely all of it. Alright, so I'm going to block the Young Pyromancer. Okay. Oh, my opponent has a Lightning Bolt. So I'm going to junk 1 Delver here. Go to 5. Or go to 1, rather. Alright. Oh, I think I messed it up. I think maybe no, if I don't kill the Delver, I die. JK. So I died a Mana Leak here. So these are 5/6s. So if I play this, if I attack with these, my opponent goes to 1. So I need my opponent to not have a removal spell. Oh wait, shit, I know they have the Fork Bolt, so I am deterministically dead here. Shit. If I'm deterministically dead, I know about Forked Bolt, then I should just go ahead and attack in. And maybe my opponent decides to Fork Bolt both of us to death. Damn! Yeah, I wonder if this one was winnable with different play patterns. Okay, my opponent's going to cast more cards. I know I'm dead. I'm just going to concede. Like, it's deterministic at this point. GG's. Alright, I have a little bit of an awkward hand that I think I am going to keep. I am hoping that either my opponent has a fetch land or I draw a fetch land so that my Deathrite Shaman gets better. Ooh, are we playing a mirror? No. Faithless Looting. So I'm imagining this is the Hogak deck. Yes. Okay. So starting on a turn 1 Deathrite Shaman is pretty sick then. We'll see if my opponent can just do something broken that gets that Vengevine into play on turn 2, though. So if they just go creature, they can do it. Ooh, a Lightning Axe. That's very good for them. I've got a Scavenging Ooze for a little bit later. But I don't have an immediate way to put that into play because my Raging Ravine is going to enter tapped. My Tarmogoyf is going to be huge, though. Okay. Yeah, so unfortunately, my opponent kind of gets a time walk here. But my opponent's hand currently isn't too crazy. It can get real weird here. Shit, that's a Hogak. Oh, that god, that's 2 Bloodghasts. Ooh, yeah. That got out of control pretty quickly. Yeah, Vengevine as well. Absolutely gross. So now my opponent can junk the Gravecrawler or, like, they've got options. The Hogak comes back, and I'm super fucking dead here. Yeah. So I take 4 this turn and then lethal next turn. Absolutely fucking disgusting. Yeah. So I can get rid of, like, any one thing here. Yep. Like, I play Ooze, I fetch to 15, I eat the Gravecrawler, I have a 3/3. Yeah, not coming back from that. No fucking way. Alright, that Satyr Wayfinder was gross. Alright, Grafdigger's Cage is reasonable. Terminates are good. I don't think this is weird enough where I want Slaughter Games, because a bunch of my opponent's cards are just good. I do think I'm going to want the Sword of Light and Shadow. How do I feel about the discard? My opponent's kind of a combo deck, but my opponent also grinds and they want some of their stuff to end up in the graveyard, so I feel awkward about it. I don't hate Olivia's and Baloths either. Just the stuff that stops me getting attacked by small things is kind of nice. What does this look like if I junk a lot of discard? This leaves me at 60, and then I have like 3 more cards that I can think about playing. I don't love Bobs. My life total is going to get under a lot of pressure fast. How does this look? A little slow. I guess I round this out by playing an Inquisition. I think I ignore Ancient Grudge for Altar of Dementia. I've got like Abrupt Decays and Maelstrom Pulses that can technically answer those as well. I think my opponent's favored here. I said this last time around, but I think the Hogak deck is the best deck in this gauntlet. Alright, how are we looking? Turn 1 Lightning Bolt, turn 2 Terminate, turn 3 Liliana. This is a reasonable hand that I don't feel like wins. Is it worth going to 6 to fish for something more powerful, like a Grafdigger's Cage, or like an early Tarmogoyf or something? I am not sure. I'm going to keep it. I don't feel great about this. But let's go land pass and see what we can do. Like, I've got 10-ish graveyard spells that I can just top deck. Yeah, so like this is the awkward thing about this sort of hand, right? Like Stitcher's Supplier is just so good because I can't Lightning Bolt that card. Jund Charm will be great. This is an if. If I get another turn. Let's just play another Black Cleave Cliffs. But like some awful things can happen here. Yeah. So when my opponent fetches, I can Lightning Bolt or Terminate. Probably Lightning Bolt. Just get that out of the way and keep my opponent from milling 3 more. See if they... Okay, they do shock themselves. Yeah. So now the stuff is in play instead of in the graveyard, so my turn 3 graveyard hate is too slow here. So I eat 5 damage. Why does my opponent have Force of Vigor in? Specifically for my 2 Grafdigger's Cages? Huh. I need something fat like a Tarmogoyf now. I can't control this stuff long term. My opponent also can like sacrifice Carrion Feeder. Sacrifice Stitcher Supplier with Carrion Feeder. My situation is not good. Gonna leave open, Terminate, and Jund Charm. Yeah, like maybe this hand isn't good enough. Like it's fine if they lead on Crab and I get to Lightning Bolt Crab and get my Time Walk that way. But the Crab on turn 2 was kind of rough. Yeah. It's a Vengevine and a Gravecrawler. My opponent doesn't have any zombies right now, so I can Terminate Carrion Feeder right now. And then try to catch the Vengevine and the Gravecrawler with this. This doesn't feel good. Essentially, I'm just kind of like using a priority trick here so that like my opponent can't immediately cast the Gravecrawler. All right, they have another one. which is some shit. So that means that they get the Vengevine back anyway. I'm super dead. Absolutely cannot keep up with the power level of this deck. Maybe the answer was like just like mulligan to a turn 1 Deathrite Shaman, or maybe a turn 2 Scavenging Ooze. Just my opponent chose not to attack me for 8 additional damage there. What the fuck? I mean, I'm thankful, but what the fuck? So I have Maelstrom Pulse for double Vengevine, but my opponent sacks both to Carrion Feeder, then sacks Gravecrawler, and then double plays Gravecrawler to return both Vengevines. This is some bullshit. I have to fetch. The only reason I'm possibly in this game is because my opponent missed 8 damage. Let's grab this. I think I have to play like my opponent misses this line, because otherwise this is just 8 damage. Alright, so here we go. Oh my god. Like, my opponent had so many ways to just fuck me over there. Maybe I do have a chance. My opponent missed 8 damage. They missed double sacking Vengevines and just bringing them back. They missed sacking 1 Vengevine to get rid of Maelstrom Pulse. Yeah, I might not be dead. Okay, there's a Gravecrawler. Okay, they figured it out. Not great for me. So those all return. Oh, my opponent also has a Fatal Push. Sure. Alright, I assume that's lethal. Alright, that is lethal, and I am dead. And I get a little bit of my play points back for my trouble. Alright, I forgot that I can't really just easily view my deck. Overall thoughts on the deck list. A lot of fun to play. Pretty viable. I don't think that this was one of the more broken decks in there. Again, I think the Hogak deck is quite easily the best deck in the banned modern list format, banned gauntlet format. There we go. Olivia did a crap ton of work. Super disappointed that we didn't end up winning that game versus Blue Red Delver after like clutching it out like that. Jund is Jund. Like, you get a lot of value out of your cards. You're very good at 1-for-1ing your opponents, and you have a couple of things that are very good as the game goes on. I will say that Deathrite Shaman definitely does not feel as broken as many of the other things that are going on in the other decks, but like we all knew that going in, right? Deathrite Shaman is just a very, very, very good Magic card. It's not like a Hogak, for example, where like you have gotten a 2-mana 8/8 Trampler that is also recursive, and that you can play very, very quickly. I do think if some of our opponents' draws were slightly, ever so slightly worse, like literal 1 life point worse, we end up with a better record here. But this was a lot of fun. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about this. Yeah, let's call it a day here. If you made it this far in the video, please throw me a like or a subscription if you haven't subscribed yet. Those sort of things are a great way to support my content for free. Have a great rest of the day. See ya.